All right, so we're gonna build the subframe for the E46 wagon that is going to hold the quick change diff. It's gonna be built out of all of these parts that I've already bent up. I'm gonna show you the setup because we don't have a jig for this, although we could make one. I'm just gonna use the car. We're in a bit of a rush. So these 3 plates are gonna make up this combo here. You can see how that's set up. And I'm going to use this quick change jig that we frequently use to make quick change kits. It basically just has taper machined onto a hex head bolt, and then this locates the diff and the faceplate. The taper helps us center the hole on the bracket, and then the spacing is about 100 thou wider than the standard diff to allow for all of that push-pull contraction. It's much easier to install a diff when you got a small little gap, and this is the perfect spacing. We should probably produce these or something and sell them. It works great, but it's one of those things. How many people are really putting quick changes in their cars? Maybe 80 a year in the whole world. So it's pretty small. So we need this one to have a big hole to go around the hex. And then we have the next one. Then we have the tube. And then finally this one. Okay, need more hands. Snug it up. Jigs are great, but you really can't do better than the chassis itself, you know? Unless it's, of course, bent. And since Mike's been driving it, there's a good chance it's bent. Okay, so that should be snug enough. Let's get this mounted up. Obviously, it would be very difficult to hold and use the diff itself as the jig. So basically, we can go get this beat it up out back. Essentially, this little carriage will go up in there. And we have a couple extra parts. We can almost build the whole thing off the car. These are gonna go here. Those will go to the side. These are gonna go on here like this. Pretty speedy. All right, since I've already tried putting this up, we're definitely gonna need one side off. Oops, here's the subframe. Got it. What do you think? It's in there. Next thing will be, no way. Got it. She's in there. So we'll do the back parts as well. We'll bolt these on. Well, better, we'll see how it's gonna go. Oh, whoever made this did a great job, right?
No, man.
Okay, he might be the new YouTube star, but he's not the new design star, all right?
I almost died in there, dude.
I don't even need to weld it, dude. Gotta love that. Same story. Yeah, good thing I saved this for on the car, because it looks like something might be a little tweaked. It's gonna be sick though. Well, what do you think?
Nice.
Now we just got to keep it in the same spot when we weld it. Simple, right?
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Nothing crazy.
No, by the time I designed this, we wouldn't have even been done cutting that.
And I would have been so depressed that I wouldn't have wanted to.
Happiness is a big part of it too,
Huge
right?
part.
I feel you.
Are you finishing it off?
I'm not the bead master.
I knew you were gonna say.
No, I can do it. If he doesn't want to do it,
No, I could do it.
You don't want to do it?
No, I do want to do it. I'm just picking on.
How do we keep it in the same spot? Probably a couple posts.
Weld it to the table.
Either you clamp the post to the table while they're bolted to this,
Yeah.
or you tack it to the table. This middle part is welded, kind of, but everything's really just tacked. Well, we should be able to take this quick change mount out. Looks great.
Can absolutely kill it.
Beads. And if it doesn't work as a subframe, we can sell it as chimes. You know, like a wind chime. All right, let's take this off. So I will zap out 4 of those. Whew. Still a little warm. That's it, basically. Pretty sweet. Well, before we get it powder coated, we're gonna try this out. Cleaned up where the flat surfaces needed to be. Here. Slides on really easily now. It's really stuck. It's a little tight on the car, so we're running out of time. We're just gonna get it powder coated. If the holes need to be chased with a drill bit, totally fine. The OEM subframe bushings have massive holes in them, obviously, to allow for differences in chassis and other things. The most important critical regions of this really is the axle clearance, how easy the diff is to come in and out. So this diff can now, once we get the subframe in the car, we shouldn't have to remove it. The diff can drop out. All of the control arms have clearance for a wrench to fit and a bolt and a nut to fit on both sides. This was a big problem with the original subframe. You couldn't really get the bolt out of the car because of this beam here, this main beam. So all the bolts go that way, but then if the bolt goes out that way, it hits the front of the frame. So you actually can't remove that bolt on the upper arm, but you can on this subframe. Other important aspects were just getting the rigidity required in this corner. The quick change is interesting because it does somewhat reinforce itself by bolting to it. This corner doesn't look super reinforced, although it does have good gusseting and stuff. When it's bolted to the diff, it becomes even more rigid. That's why I didn't have a crosser going over here. We may find that it would need it, but I'm gonna have an underneath one anyways, so I think it's gonna be fine. It's ready to get powder coated. We're gonna get it done in green, get the boys on it. And then when we come back here, hopefully Mike comes in so we can start chopping and slopping. We do have a new PMC adapter coming from Drift HQ. We're gonna swap the transmission as well. It's a ZF 5-speed BMW transmission. It's been fine. The debate always is, what do you do first, a dog box or a quick change? I'm a big fan of quick changes first, because if you dial in your gear ratio and wheel speed, the transmission and engine and drivetrain all need to work a lot less hard. And if someone says, oh, you don't have enough power, like why would you? A quick change helps you if you don't have enough power. That's kind of a crazy concept. You can pick the gear ratio. How important is it for you and your stock VQ or BMW? Everyone's talking about what diffs you're running, what diff are you running, what diff are you running, so that you are running in 3rd or 4th gear primarily, and not just stuck in 2nd, and then 3rd is way too long because you got like a 3.3 in the back. You got a quick change. I'm not saying you should quick change your stock VQ. Or actually, I kind of am saying that. It'd be kind of a crazy move, but at the same time, you could really utilize that VQ for more tracks if you had a quick change. So maybe I am saying that. Quick change your stock BMW and 350Z. If you can do it affordably, of course. But think about this, as soon as you get more power, you're already gonna be well versed with using gear ratios, optimizing your power band. It's only gonna benefit you in the long run. Let's get this powder. Need this baby blasted. It's not a huge rush. Subframe, just regular green. Sweet. Got the big ovens running. I think I should run a drill bit through it too. Ah, too much torque. Dude, where's the cutting fluid when you need it? Let me see the lube. Powder coat makes it slippery. This reminds me of playing rock band drums. Or Guitar Hero, whichever one. Ah, this ain't working very well. Oh, Jack. Easy.
Yep.
Oh, get some nuts on before it kills us. Oh, Jack, it looks amazing.
Hard.
Oh, lined right up. Oh. Quick change, subframe. Yeah, so let me tell you, I know exactly where you need to cut. It's a nice line right here. Hey Mike, it's your turn, buddy. Take the Sawzall and just...
So, pretty successful.
Real successful, yep. Gives us all of our grip kit options. Gives you the faceplate options for the diff. No more need for solid subframe bushings. It's much lower profile. You know, you can fix and work on things a lot easier. The axle clearance cutouts being the main thing. You know what's funny? It almost is like this center section here with the two side plates onto the front plate. Take away the ears and these mounts, and that's nearly like you sell that and then you can kind of weld it to anything. Like pretty much like, here you go, you can mount a quick change with these parts. Really depends. People are so much more DIY today than they ever were. A lot of people have welders now. Even a lot of people have CAD, 3D printers. I like making the solutions a little more usable. I could sell those 3 parts, plates, and then you could kind of just do whatever you want with it. Even if it was a downloadable file, Jack, 25 bucks, 3 plates. Do whatever you want. Add material to it, take material away. Put alignment tabs, make it fit your subframe. I don't care. Just saves you time. That's what I'm selling. Time back to you. I like it. Anyways, looks good. Don't know if it works good. It's gonna work fine. That's it for today's video. We'll see you guys on the next one.